challenges and complications, you're going to be able to learn a lot. The unfortunate part is for me, I'm paying for these costly expenses and some mistakes and some processes within the county and plans and permits, construction and things of that nature. It's a 2-hour drive from my house. So even that within itself, that's a long drive when you have a hiccup or a challenge. Who's in from DM 101?
We got Leonard and Jason.
Leonard, what's going on? Jason Torres. Jason, what's going on?
Hold up. Mic's not working. Let me turn on. Let me adjust.
We're just waiting for a few more members from the Deal Mastery community, the Deal Mastery 201, actually, specifically a gentleman by the name of Gerald. You guys all know Gerald. We're waiting for him to hop on because he has some jewels. Quick heads up, I'll tell you. So what happened over the last week is Gerald, with another community member, took down a deal. They got locked up in Sacramento. We're going to go over that deal today. We're going to go over that partnership today. We're going to go over that process so that you can understand, hey, what is it like to navigate a deal? We've talked about the preliminary components of analyzing deals, looking for deals, positioning yourself, knowing your neighborhood, connecting with contractors, lenders, appraisers, subcontractors, all the components you're going to need to really get the confidence to walk through a deal. And so that's what we're going to do today.
Can you ask him to say?
Leonard, if you could see or hear me, Leonard, let me know. Where's Gerald?
Can you turn it on? Can you turn it up the volume on the TV? Yeah, I don't want to.
Gerald, are you there? Hey, you can hop on mic? Yeah. Hey, go to hop on, please. Yeah. All right, let's get straight to it. Forgive me, give me a couple minutes. I just had some small tech components that I'm navigating. We're going to dive in really quick. Here we go. Vincent, good morning. How are you? There you go. I can see you as well. So again, like I was just saying, Gerald took down a deal this week, and we're going to dive into that deal. But before we dive in, Leonard, Vincent, Jason, you guys have any wins for the week? I can't hear you, Jason. Is you?
1 sec. Running into some audio errors.
I have some audio challenges. And for IG, if you want to join our community, please just go ahead and put DM 101 in the comment section. We'll make sure we get the information. It's a free community. It's all about growing your real estate. It's all about analyzing deals. It's all about all the components that will help you have the confidence and the skill sets you can jump into your first deal. Because that's what this is all about. I struggled early on in my career not understanding the fundamentals of real estate investing. And so I was just throwing stuff at a wall to get things done. It took me 7 years to get here. And in hindsight and looking back, had I known some of the very elementary components that we're going through in this course, I definitely would have had less of a bumpy road. And I think I would have been further along, but that's okay, right? I'll take a couple of bumps and bruises and share that information so that others can grow in real estate. And that's what it's all about. Brian, what's up, baby? So we got Brian and Gerald. We're going to dive right into it. Gerald, can you hear me?
Microphone there.
1 second. Okay, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Gerald, in short, what we're talking about today is we have a big win in the community. You and Brian have been connecting. A lot of the members from the community have been connecting and masterminding and kind of using different resources within each other to share and grow with each other. And This last week, you and Brian took down a deal. You got it locked up, right?
Yeah.
Let's give them a round of applause. That's the first partnership within Deal Mastery 101, in which what we constructed this to be, two members got together, found a deal, locked the deal up, and now we're going through the process. Is that about right?
Yeah. We focused on the framework: deal, debt, equity.
Okay, correct. That's the deal, the debt, and the equity. We discuss that frequently. Find the right deal, navigate the deal, find the right debt, find a lender, and through that process and that journey and the story of that deal, you'll be able to force some equity and determine what your exit is going to be, whether it's fix and flip, hold, house hack, whatever it shall be, but that's amazing, and I'm proud of the both of you. I'm gonna discuss a little bit about the deal, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong. So you got together, you guys both met in Deal Mastery 101, or did you know each other previously?
Yeah,
We met in here. Met in here. And within that, you both connected and start looking for deals. Who found the deal?
Yeah.
Brian, you found the deal. Brian, tell us a little bit how you found that deal.
It was on
All right.
It was on accident.
You gotta tell the story the same way you told me, bro.
I'll tell you this. I don't think I told you. So I know it's a lot of real estate agents here. It's just like you guys. Like I wanted my first deal back. I remember it was a Monday before we locked up the deal. Me and Joe were like, okay, we gotta think about KPIs. How we're gonna find the deal. And then next day we locked it up.
Right.
I went over to my Tito's house. It's like our neighbor. I went over to my Tito's house in Meadowview there in South because I thought I was gonna list this rental for sale. I didn't think much. Like, okay, let me go over there. I didn't think much. Let me go over there, run in the net sheet, or see if he wants to keep us rental. So I was there. It was him, his wife, and his auntie. I haven't seen her auntie like when I was like 8 years old. I'm 22. And we rekindled. Turned out he wanted to keep us rental, so I was like, okay, that's totally fine. He's like, but we know who to go to when we want to sell it. Because he didn't know what to do with like 200K equity. The auntie there, she's like, oh yeah, I'm selling my home, or my ex's home. He's in dialysis. But we need it's not good to go on the market. I'm like, what do you mean? Can you tell me more about it? She's like, yeah, well, we're looking for cash buyers. I just want cash. It's not in a good condition. Okay. I'm like, shit, I need my first deal. So I'm like, okay, can I take a look at it today? It was like 1 o'clock. It's like, yeah, I started taking a look at it 3:30. I'm like, okay, I'll be there at 3. So I'm like, okay, I'll see you. And I'm on my lunch break, 1 hour. I go over to Jollibee. I get a bucket of chicken joy. I pull up with a bucket of chicken joy and peach mango pies. Pull up to the property. I'm like, hey, auntie, how you doing? Yeah, this for you,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So, we're rekindling. I'm walking through the property. I'm like, oh, man, this needs work. But this is like really good potential here. And I'm like, okay, so you've kind of been looking around online. What have these investors been saying? She's like, yeah, I don't know. They gave me like 90K. I don't think it's too low. I'm like, okay. So I'm looking around. Okay, look, I'm gonna give you a call. I want to hop on a call. Gerald on a call. Let's hop on a call at 6:30. Yeah, it was 6:30. So it's literally 3 hours from now. I want all of the people who have like say in the property all together. So we're on the mass calls. We can lock it up.
We wanted to make sure that all decision makers are on the phone.
Good. So let's stop right there. So we're always prospecting. We're always looking for people that can have financials. So people that have money can sign for a deal, right? These are people in our network, and we're always looking for deals everywhere we go. And it's always easiest to do it with people you know, like, and trust. And so you connected with your uncle and aunt that you hadn't seen in many years. You were thinking about listing the property because you're a real estate agent. When you went and saw the property and connected with them, also you practiced the law of generosity. You would have brought them chicken and food regardless of whether you were going to list their house or not. But what you did is you caught them at a juncture in which their property was more of a headache to them, right? Because sometimes for many of us as we're growing in real estate, a piece of crap property or property that needs a lot of work and money, we see it as an asset and an opportunity. Well, one man's garbage is another man's treasure. For your aunt and uncle, this property that she acquired or she had for however she got it, the condition of it, the tenants, the location of it, it was more of a headache. She didn't see it as an opportunity. She didn't see it as something that had further future potential, very likely because of where she's at in her life. And because we're always doing activities that coincide with real estate investing, we're always looking for property, we're always networking. You saw the value in the property. And so once you walk the property with her and you realize many investors had been hitting her up, calling her, making her offers, because she know and likes and trusts you, she told you exactly what type of offer she was getting for the property. So that relationship has value. That relationship allowed you to dovetail in front of other investors giving offers, but also she told you what their offers are. So instead of you doing cold calling and doing blind outreach and just making offers on properties, because you have a relationship with this lady and your reputation with her is good, what that allowed you to do is instead of just writing a blind offer, you was able to write the offer a little bit more than investors are writing it, right? Gave you the possibility of locking it up with the more likelihood of closing the deal. And it also bought you time because she knows, likes, and trusts you. What you're able to do in finding financing, finding the right partner, inspecting the property, and making sure you have a clear decision on what you're going to do with the project, it afforded that type of behavior and that type of opportunity. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay, so for the sake of time, Brian, let me ask you this. So once you got to the property, you walked through the property, you already knew that she was getting offers at about 90,000.
Yeah.
In short, from that component, what was kind of like your transition into making an offer and getting it secure?
Yeah, I mean, it was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Me and Charlie, and shout out Derek, he's on this call too. He actually helped lock up the deal because Jared was having his anniversary, but it was a no-brainer around that price. But I want to continue the story a little bit.
Please.
And so I'm dropping off, right? And remember she said there's an investor coming in at 3:30. We're kind of in the shady area, right? And I see a nice white Tesla drive by. I'm like, oh, that looks familiar. And I'm like, oh. So I stop. I get out of the road, and the investor comes out, and it's Kevin Lee.
Kevin Lee. Yeah. Kevin's crushing.
Yeah, I'm like, Kevin, what's up? He's like, what's up, boy? I'm like, okay. And after that, I head over to Bobby's Flip, do a walkthrough. But when I'm done, I'm like, okay. I'm like, hey, how do you know Kevin Lee? She was like, oh, you guys work together? I'm like, no, we don't work together. But I see him in investment meetups. We like to take on projects like this. And he's like, because I'm trying to pick her brain. Because she said, oh, he offered an offer to me straight up. I'm like, okay. So I'm kind of picking brains. Like, how do you feel about it? Like, where's he at? It's like, oh, I feel better with him. He said 100. I'm like, okay. And in my mind, I'm like, okay, if I know that I'm coming at 100, we all come in at 100, she's going to pick me over him any day. So we go to the call. Darren, shout out Darren, smooth talker. He even busts out his Tagalog on my Tita.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, we just locked it up at 100. And then after that, the next day, I looked at my phone. I totally missed it. Kevin Lee called me like 4 times. And I called him back. I'm like, hey. He's like, how do you know her? Like, she's my auntie.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you offered her. I'm like, I offered her 100. She's like, oh, wait, she's your auntie? Oh, no way, I'm beating that.
It's interesting that what you'll find, I've been in that situation. There's some very fundamental strategies in which people employ to get in front of these off-market deals and getting directly in front of sellers, right? And as you all grow in real estate and go direct to seller and are mining for these leads, you're going to overlap other investors that are doing these things. Zach, good morning. Other investors that are trying to track down these deals. And it's going to be the same investors every single time that you'll see. I've seen Bobby at different homes. I've seen Zach at different homes. I've seen Mitch at different homes. And you'll find out that that's the interesting thing about competition. When you get to this level of real estate investing, where we have an abundance mindset to put you in a position where you want to partner with people. You want to bring your resources and with other people's resources to come together to take down more deals, because it's not about one deal, it's about scalability. Last week I talked about not getting rich off one flip or one deal. This is the lifestyle. And so people in this lifestyle, once again, you'll see them more frequently. And so just really kudos to all 3 of you, right? And shout out to Kevin too, he's a great guy. You guys were able to position yourself and lock this thing up. The inventory is tied out there. So to be able to do this at this point in the market, this point in you guys' growth in real estate investing, it blows my freaking mind. And I just got to give you guys another round of applause because teamwork makes the dream work. So you got it. You guys got it locked up at 100K. You ran comps already, correct?
Yeah,
Let's take over.
we ran comps. And so I wanted to introduce Darren to you, Jake, real quick, and to the rest of the community here.
Please, Darren.
Darren is our acquisition manager.
Okay. What is that? What is an acquisition? What is an acquisition manager?
So he gets on the phones with me, right? And our goal every day is just to make offers, right? So we focus more so on the off market, and we just pretty much lock up deals. But a lot of the times, our daily activity is just sending out offers.
Yeah. Yeah. Get in front of sellers and getting those offers out, and so you can potentially lock something up. Darren, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jacob. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Nice to formally meet you. We spoke yesterday as well. I hear a lot of really good things about you. Welcome to our community. You guys just all work together to lock up that deal in Sacramento. Darren, so you do acquisition. Tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah, so I'm fairly new into wholesaling. I started maybe back in November. One of the first messages I got when I got to the real estate community was to squad up, and I was able to partner with Gerald. Gerald and I, we've been cold calling probates, the Sacramento area for a while now. Recently just started PPC, and that's elevated our business. But like Gerald said, we're doing acquisitions, we're making offers. We try to do 5 offers a day, and X amount of offers a month will lead into deals. So that's been working for us, and I was glad that when Brian brought this opportunity, it was just another day in the office, and we were able to lock that up.
Right on, man. I'm proud of you guys. Let's dive into. There's so much that I want to discuss about this deal, but I know the time's gonna fly fast. We got about 20 more minutes. But I wanted it to be teachable, but I also want to bring you guys some value. So let's go back to the fundamentals of deal debt equity. So we found a deal, right? We negotiated the deal and we got it locked up. Brian, remind me, what are the comps in this area from a low, medium, high perspective?
So it's a 3-bed, 1-bath right now. 3-bed, 1-bath. We're looking like 375, 350.
Okay.
We want to add another bathroom because I hold open houses here all the time. And I had complaints of like people walking in about, oh, it's only one bathroom.
Right.
We're looking at 430 right there. So I think it's worth adding a little bit extra square footage to the bathroom on that.
So you said for a 3-1 in this area, fully renovated, improved, right? What are those going for a 3-1?
Yeah, 3-1 is about 350 to 375 for the ARV. For a 3-bed, 2-bath, we're looking at 430 to 450.
Okay, now that, just out of curiosity, that's a large, for me, that's a large jump. Adding 1 bathroom gets you another 50 grand. Is that the math that we have?
Yeah, now that you mention it, it is a little high.
Yeah, that's the jump. That's the jump. Typically, I see from an appraiser standpoint or just experience, adding a bathroom will get you another 15 to 20 grand, and a bedroom will get you maybe another 20 to 30 grand, right? Especially in this market. So I am curious to see the comps, and we can work through that. And you're very likely right. We always use these key indicators that help us understand and tell a story. When we're looking at a property, it's just not the price, not just the condition. It also is that journey of what we're going to do. Sometimes improvements can be a brand new kitchen or a brand new bathroom or a brand new roof, right? Flooring. But oftentimes you shoot for what we call highest and best use. So you look at a property in particular and you say, look, how can I improve the utility and the usage of this property? If I add on a bathroom, if I add on a bedroom or a bedroom and a bathroom, what can that do? If I add on a garage, if I can convert a garage, what can this do to increase the value and put me in a different bracket from a ARV, an after repair value standpoint, right? And make it more attractive. Those are some of the things I'm always looking at. So I do want to dive into the conference, you guys, but let's maybe we'll all connect. I know some of you coming out today. We'll walk through that. So let's talk about we got the deal. What about the debt? How are we going to secure the debt?
Well, yeah, we met Christy and Scott from Iron Oak on Thursday was it 2 weeks ago.
Correct.
And we plugged our numbers with their rates and their terms.
Right.
And it pencils out. I think with any hard money we go, it pencils out. But because you had that community, because you had that meetup, she was already welcoming us in because they were coming from Deal Mastery 101.
Yeah.
So Brian and I actually, prior to finding the deal, the day after, so Friday after the meetup, me and Brian just put our heads together and said, look, bro, like, let's create goals. Let's try to figure out what we got to do. And then the number one thing is finding the deal.
Right.
The number one thing is finding the deal. What do we got to do to find a deal? Send me something every single day. As far as you're just on the market, I'll underwrite it, right? And we'll just have it that way.
Okay. So real quick, so what you're suggesting is you're saying that the two of you are currently practicing different skill sets. And instead of you becoming a master and a widespread of many different things, you say, hey, look, Brian, this is your job. You just find deals, shoot them to me. If you find a deal, you shoot it to me. I'll analyze the deal. Analyzing deals can take time and we can run from them. But sometimes when you do something every day, it just becomes like breathing. Analyzing deals for you is like second nature. Brian, because he has so many activities. He has his real estate agent hat. He has an investor hat. He has a networking hat. He has family. Sitting down from his activities of analyzing deals, many deals probably he misses on a daily basis because he just didn't have the time where he forgets. So by finding deals and shooting them to you, you analyze them. Shoot them to you, you analyze them, right? That's going to increase the velocity of actually getting into and determining whether something's a good deal. I love that system.
Yep.
So you analyze your deal.
Afterwards, we connected with Christy. We started asking her certain numbers to make sure that in the event we get a deal, we just want to make sure these are the terms. And then it was just Tuesday when we found it, and she was like, "Wow, you guys are fast."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we connected with Iron Oak, we connected with Christy, and we got that deal.
Good. So have you secured financing, or are you guys still shopping it?
Sorry, say that one more time.
Are you guys still shopping? Are you still shopping your finances, or are you guys have it locked in?
Yeah, I mean, we have two other options on the table right now, and so before the meeting here at 9, we were crunching the numbers. So yeah, we are still shopping.
Good.
Our inspection period ends on the 14th or the 16th, I believe. So we got to figure it out fast.
Success loves speed. I'll tell you something. Christy and Scott are dear friends of mine, professionally and personally, right? They're not the end all be all. There's cheaper money out there, and there's money out there that just looks different. Christy and Scott, they do probably about 75 LTV. So they'll loan you 75,000 or 75% of the debt, and you have to come up with 25% of it, right? You did it between 75 and 70 and 75, right? There are people out there that will factor all the money into the deal. They'll give you the money for 100% of the deal, and they'll give you the finances to do the improvements of the deal. That usually is about 65% LTV. So the price of the house, if the house is $100,000, this is what I see typically in the market. If the house is $100,000, your price of the house and the price of improvement have to be 65% of that, so $65,000. They want to position themselves in a way in which there's a lot of room in that property for mistakes and to minimize risk. So again, Christy and Scott, they don't loan any money for improvements, but I'll tell you a quick secret or a hint, right? When you do establish a relationship with them, I wouldn't be surprised if you asked them to do that if they wouldn't do it. It's all about establishing a relationship. So they were guests on our podcast. They were guests on our live session. They're not going to be your only option. Definitely exercise what else is out there. So we have the deal. We're exercising the debt. How much money do you think we're going to make on this deal? If we're buying it for $100K, how much money is it going to cost you to do the improvements on this property?
About 100,000.
That sounds about right. So we buy it for 100. It's going to cost us 100. In that 100,000, is that interest payments? Is that points? Is that title, escrow, and realtor fees?
For the purchase, right?
Correct. Forgive me. No. The $100,000 in improvement, is that just construction and labor, or does that factor in holding costs?
All hard costs. Yeah. Yeah, that's just construction itself.
Okay, so then we're gonna exit the property with a realtor. We're gonna exit the property with some holding costs, with some points and things of that nature. Let's call that 40 grand. Right?
Yep.
Probably less than that. So we're buy it for 100. Let's call it 30. We're buy it for 100. We put in 100, and then we have 30,000 in other costs. So we're in 230. If our suggestion is that the ARV is above 4, right? Let's just stick to 4 on a soft end. Anytime I exit a property, I'm looking at comps. I never project myself to have the highest comp because markets fluctuates, appraisers are appraisers, and there's so many different factors that we don't want to put all our eggs in one basket, right? So let's call it 400 grand. So we're going to add that bathroom. If the 3-1 is 375, we add the bathroom. We are in the bracket of the 3-2s, 400. So we're at 230 minus 400. What does that give us?
I'm sorry.
Is that
I'm not doing the math.
that's 170, right? 170 grand.
160.
160,000. $160,000 on a flip is freaking unheard of frequently in this market and in these price points and in our location as well. And that's great. If you can make 40 on a flip right now, that's what I'm seeing. You're in really, really good shape. So for you guys to be able to make that type of money, 6 figures on our first flip, that's crazy. I want to
ask some questions, right? Because Brian, because he's an agent, like we're allowing him, we're not allowing him, but we even calculated on the back end that he get paid his commissions. And because we'll be operating as project managers, we get paid on the monthly end. Is that something that you typically do?
that's not necessarily the way I do it currently, but that is a way that I see people do it. Oftentimes there's not enough spread on a deal to do that. So to make these deals work with partners, we don't always have that ability to make earnings of managing the project and doing other activities. It typically is like, all right, we're gonna make 70 grand, we're gonna split it up. Everybody has their roles, right? Everybody has their job descriptions. But because there's so much meat on the bone, why not? And ultimately, let me also walk back and say this. When you work with different people, when you work with different partners, however you construct the deal is how you construct the deal. If you say, Jacob, listen, we need you to take photos and make sure nobody breaks into the property, you get $20,000. Somebody might say, well, that's not a lot of work, or that's a lot of work, whatever they shall say. Whatever we agree on, if 20,000 is my number and we all agree on it, it doesn't make a difference. And what I love about this deal, in particular as we put it in front of the community, is you're going to see that it's about velocity. This is one deal. And as you get into other deals, you may see smaller returns a piece. It may be 20 a piece, 15 a piece, 40 a piece, right? And what happens is we're not necessarily worried about making just the 20. When you partner with several people, you're planting several seeds. And when you're operating 4 or 5 deals with different people, some at the same people, but with different people simultaneously, you're going to find in 90 days, you're getting 4 checks, 20, 60, 70, 40, boom. You can't do that. It's very hard to do it when you're a one-man team operating. Harder to find these deals, take on these deals, and take on these responsibilities. But when you have a clear scope of work and you bring value to several different people and you get a pinch from every single deal, what you're going to find is when those seeds come to harvest, your account's going to go crazy. Boom, boom, boom. And that's called scalability. Very difficult to do it independently. Because money costs, deals are hard to find, and also deals take time to manage. Brian, you got, before we transition, do you have anything else you kind of want to share for insight in regards to this deal, this process, the teamwork that you think that the community can benefit from?
Leveraging other people's strengths in the community. I think we just established, like, the 3 of us, like, before we even joined here, we were underwriting the deal one more time. And we even did private money if we were to come in with 0 down. But like having, knowing each other's strengths and playing to that and having clear defined roles, and that's like an ideal like partnership right there.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and, you know, we have this community.
I love
There's
that.
plenty of people
I
here.
love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. You guys are, you're all amazing. I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
Biggest thing that we did too is we were making sure that like, even if deals weren't a deal, and we knew that from the purchase price, we practiced it every
You still were practicing.
writing, we just pen numbers. Yeah, we were just practicing every day, so it's
Yeah,
going to be that it came out faster than we expected, so.
good. That's massive action. That's really what it boils down to. I see those that, all that can, most that should, and those that actually do, are the ones that are taking massive action, doing the activities, and says that, hey, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Analyze the deal. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Analyze the deal. I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. Analyze the deal. Analyze the deal and hop on calls and have group text messages with community members. The platform is here. This is the easy street. Most people that got in real estate didn't have it this easy to have people to learn from and leverage from. And so what I want to dive into next is we're still going to stay on the topic of this deal, but one of the questions, I have a few questions for you guys that you can share with the community. My first question is Brian, this is a question for Brian. Brian, why do you trust Gerald to even do a deal with you? Gerald can take, he can lie, he can do all these, he can not do his part of the bargain, he can do all these things. Why would you trust him?
Yeah. So, Gerald, have we met for like a month?
You guys don't even know each other 30 days yet, I don't think.
So, I've been on Deal Mastery, but I want to shout out Gerald. He gives a lot of value to the group. I remember we had one of these meetings, and he reached out. He gave me like a free list of contacts to call.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, sure. He's like, yeah. Like, even though like it wasn't the wholesale route or the flip route, like maybe I could get a potential listing.
Mm-hmm.
It was something simple like that.
So he gave, he gave value early on.
He gave value. He didn't ask anything out of it.
Right.
And I was heading over to Stockton. I think there was a deal from Joe Homebuyer pitch, and I wanted to be there too.
Yep.
And we built a relationship. We ate lunch, and then ever since then we've been like looking at deals, analyzing deals, and it's like all right. And like we had so much commitment on like finding a deal. Like we had, like I said, we're talking about goals.
Mm-hmm.
So and I know he has a construction background too, so I think that complemented it really well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got hustle, grind, and he's doing the wholesale flip. So I mean, like it was just like
The timing of it and what he represented in the things that he does and says gave you the confidence that you can do a deal with him.
yeah, like if it was anybody, like I just hit him up.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. Well, let me ask another question. Well, let me dive into this actually. So in particular, this property that you guys have locked up is in Sacramento, and it's a great property to kind of walk through and navigate. Do you guys mind if we get that property address on the screen, or you guys want to keep it to the side until we get it over the hill? Whatever you're comfortable with. You don't mind? Okay, can we get that up?
Actually, I'm on my way to get picking up Zach.
Okay, no worries.
Is Darren on you?
Darren's on here. I'm gonna have Trey. What's text me that address, Gerald, please. So as we get this address, I'm gonna get it on the screen because I want a visual. I'm a visual learner, and we're gonna utilize this property right now.
Yeah, 5121 Mendocino Boulevard.
Ah, I know that. That's in between Fruit Ridge and Oak Park.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I lived on that street. I lived on the street. I have. It's a long street. Mendocino goes a long way. You can access it from Fruit Ridge, or you can access it from Martin Luther King.
Martin Luther King.
Yeah. I lived there as a kid. That's not too far from the Shell gas station, and they have a very good what do you call it? The Mexican corn with cheese on top. Molotes. They have a good place right across the street behind in the Chevron parking lot. You guys can check it out. Okay, here's the property. Yeah, I know this house. I do. So we're looking at this property, and Zestimate has it at 286. Zillow has it at 286, right? Those numbers are not always correct. Those are just estimates. we're looking at some of the sales that have taken place in the neighborhood. Trey, you want to slow down a little bit? Let's click out of. Okay, so we're gonna get that address and put it right here, please. So what we're looking at is how to analyze a property from a physical standpoint when taking in a deal. The subject property is so important, but we want to look at the neighborhood as well. We want to look at what other properties in this neighborhood that have recently been improved and sold, what are those going for right now in the last 60 days? Press search, just press enter. Nothing. All right, just want to pull that property back up. Hopefully the way it is. Sorry about that. I wanted to get on the screen and share it with you guys. So some of the things that you think about that may not always be straightforward when you're looking at property is I think about things like HOAs and Miller rules, right? HOA is homeowners association, and there's a Miller rules tax that is that a property owner has to pay oftentimes annually or quarterly. These expenses can significantly affect the sale of a property. So you want to look and see, do they have HOA? Do they have Miller rules, or are there other expenses outside of the property that may discourage somebody from buying it? Are there age restrictions, right? And or are there these expenses that when somebody gets pre-approved for a home in a specific area for $400,000, if there's a HOA of maybe like 250, that takes away about 30 grand on average of purchasing power. So as we're doing our comps, is there HOA? Is it in a flood zone? Is there Miller rules? These are things that are very imperative that we don't typically always know when analyzing a deal, but we have to keep it in the back of our head. The other thing that we didn't discuss on this property is my question to Gerald or Brian, or even Darren, are there currently are there tenants in the property? Okay, that's great. That is a killer. When you're looking for deals, a tenant in a property can completely make it not a deal. Even if it's, I was looking at a property in Oakland for about 200 grand, ARV is like 550, right? But the tenant will not be getting out the property. Now, we just went to some of the comparables. Thank you, Trey. This is a 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. How many square feet are we? We're 860, right?
860.
So that's our subject property. This one sold 24 days ago. 860, same square footage on Mendocino. That one sold for 323. Let's click on that, Trey. So this one sold on Mendocino. One of the things you'll see is a flat roof and the AC units on top of the house. A lot of times that can be a challenge. Those flat roofs can be a challenge. AC unit looks a little older, but it sold for 323. They're not going to show us a whole lot of pictures, but that's on the soft end right now. We're assuming that we can get 375 for it improved. I don't think that house is improved. It has the old school siding, so it's probably all original, but still in great shape, dual pane windows. Let's pop out and see another one. This is a very soft back of the napkin analysis that you can do of any property really quick, right? This will tell you everything. This one's over 293, so we don't want that one. And that one had larger square footage. Check this one out on Mendocino. Sold 2 months ago, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, 875. Usually, as far as we have a dent in the garage, that's a one car garage. There's the difference between a 1-car and a 2-car garage in value. When you look at the fascias on this house, AC is newer. Look at the fascias on this house. It has some peeling paint, maybe some dry rot, but they were able to get a hefty number for this. So it shows that we are in range at 360. Our property in particular is going to be immaculate. Brand new flooring, brand new bathroom, brand new plumbing, everything we need. Not even the grass look nice. So it didn't even show that well. So it does. I do have the impression that, was that 394? It sold for
349.
But did it sell? Yes, it sold. Correct. It sold for 350. So I think that if we're showing a whole lot better, very similar square footage, there's no way we can't get to that 375, another $25,000, and everything's brand new. I know we can get that. So your comps, from a very soft perspective, are on the money. This can tell you really quick whether you should even go further in actually analyzing the rents on the property, the condition of the property, how you're going to get the debt. And if you want to spend your time fighting against other investors to lock up a property that may not have that much meat on the bone, especially keeping in mind, if you're partnering with somebody, we do need a larger profit so we can split it and it can make sense. So back to the tenants. Tenants can really kill a deal because once you acquire the property, getting the tenants out can sometimes take a formal eviction, and that can take 7, 8, 9 months. And then now you're holding costs. It doesn't make sense. So any properties that I get into, I really try to make sure that the tenants are going to be vacating the property, or there's some type of negotiation put in place before closing with understanding what the tenants are going to do. I don't like to take on that responsibility. It can be very costly. Cash for keys always works within my negotiation as I'm going into a deal. I tell the owner, I speak with the tenants, hey, listen, we're looking to probably move into the property and do some demolition. We're prepared to give you some cash for keys. Maybe also pay an extra $5,000, and I'll have the seller pay extra $5,000, and we'll give that money to the tenant, including their last month rent and their deposit. Kind of make it a sweet deal for them. Go ahead.
Would it be good to add an extra bathroom to increase value on something like this? Because 3-bed, 1-bath is like 1-baths aren't usually good, right?
No, you're right. Good question. Trey came in with the hot question. He was talking about what you guys discussed in regards to adding a bathroom. So with this property right here, I'm assuming the bathroom's on the backside of the property. Gerald or Brian or Darren, where are you going to put that bathroom at?
Yeah, so we got one of our contractors that out there, and they recognized that the plumbing, the bathroom was towards the back, and that the plumbing, the way it was configured, we could almost just tee it off and just add another bathroom on the other side of that wall.
Opposite side of the wall. That's good. Is that going to be a half bath or a full bath?
It's going to be a full bath.
Full. Good. Doing that will increase the attractability. We have some landscaping we need to get done. We have some trees we need to get cut back as well. Those trees touching the house and they were being a threat to the house will challenge the insurance. Another question I want to ask you guys in analyzing these deals, have you secured insurance for this property? Insurance is difficult. It's difficult. Forgive me. It's difficult to maintain it, to get insurance in California, especially for older homes. I don't know the year in which they use the marker for. I see anything 1925 or older. Very, very difficult, especially when you're looking at flips and tenant occupied. But that's something we can go over. I have 2 or 3 other insurance companies I can provide for you guys. Another one is death on the property. You always want to make sure that when you're locking these properties up, sometimes what is the motivation for why they're selling? Was there a death on the property? Was there an incident on the property? Was there a shooting in the neighborhood? That's the type of information you need to know, because it's not just always about the numbers. People say it's the numbers, it's the numbers, it's the numbers. If there's a death on the property or it's by a gas station, it doesn't matter how good the deal is. When you put it on the market, when people know this information, they're going to drag their feet very likely to want to make an offer on this property and execute a deal. The other thing I'll show you is Mendocino in particular, decent street, right? I grew up on Mendocino many, many years ago. Mendocino parallels to a street called Martin Luther King. And a lot of times Martin Luther King has a lot of traffic because there's a couple high schools on that street, very narrow street. It needs like 2 more lanes. So people will use Mendocino as a background, and they'll fly down Mendocino. They had to put bumpers in the street many years ago, and people still fly down that street. And so still a good street though, but when you see streets with high traffic, schools across the street from them, you typically see a hit on a property, 15 grand, 20 grand. And when I say hit, you see those houses sell for less and sit on the market longer.
Yeah.
Because if I was a mom or a father, but I'm a father, right? But if I was a mother, right, and I'm looking at a house, because women make 80% of the decisions. If I'm looking at a house and I'm saying, hey, if my kids go outside, they can get hit. Or if a drunk driver comes down the street driving, he'll run right into our house. I would not want to buy that house. And this is an entry-level house in which an end user could be a single mom or a growing family with kids. And so that's something we want to think about. But Mendocino's not that busy. I just wanted to give that example for food for thought. Then we look at the high cost ticket items on this house in particular. We're looking at a roof, we're looking at gutters, we're looking at AC units. It doesn't seem to be on a raised foundation, like it's on a slab. So those things can cost a lot of money. When we're looking at properties, we're looking at the picture, we want to see, can we locate an AC unit? If you don't see one, then that may mean we need an AC unit and we need to run ducting. That could be expensive. So always look at those higher ticket items looking at properties. The next question is this a heavy flip or a light flip? Heavier flips take more time. Heavier flips take more skill. So when you look at heavier flips, the question you have to ask yourself is this. If it's a heavy flip, it's going to take more time. It's going to take more resources, and I'm going to be heavier invested in it. 100 grand, 130 grand. if I'm gonna invest that much into a deal, take that much risk, I have to be a business. I have to have the business mindset. What is the gain? If it's a heavier flip, we can't make 30 grand. Or maybe you can, depends on your buy box. If it's a softer flip, right? If it's gonna take 40 grand, you can get in and out in 30 days. Somebody might do that for 20 grand. Where else can you make 20 grand in 30 days like that? Passively in some regard by hiring the right subs, going to a property twice, and putting it on the market. These are all strategies, right? And then another component I'd be thinking about is what is our exit strategy? So Darren, what's the exit strategy on this property? Are we keeping it? Are we flipping it? What are we doing with this one?
We're flipping it, sir.
Okay. And how long do you think it's going to take for you to get this thing on the market?
We put around maybe 6-7 months on. We put about 6-7 months just in case.
Darren, you're gonna make me die. 7 months. I can build the Taj Mahal in 7 months. So we need to find out. You're being conservative, but we should be able to get this done in 60 days. I want to challenge you guys to get this done in 60 days. It should be gutted in 4 days. Plumbing should take another 5 or 6 days. Sheetrock's gonna take 5 days, right? And we'll get into that. 7 months, long time, right? But there's nothing wrong with giving yourself that type of room. But I want to challenge you guys to raise your standard and say, hey, how can we get this done in 60 days? And then back on the market. Because it's just longer holding costs, right? And it could be very unnecessary. But let's do this. And I appreciate you guys. I want to give you guys another round of applause for locking up the first deal. You guys are the first Deal Mastery 101 community members that have locked up a deal. And the inspiration and encouragement, we're going to keep mastering the story and documenting your journey so we can grow and learn from it. Again, one more. A round of applause for you guys. Good job. So my question to you is this. So let me do a thought step. Let's just dive into a Q&A. Let's do that. I want to dive into Q&A for anybody that has questions about this process, any questions they have for Darren, Gerald, and Brian, any questions. Go ahead and shoot them. And Instagram, if you have questions as well, let me know. Let me check on this real quick.
And for any questions, just to preface, right? Brian, he takes care of a lot of the stuff on the retail selling side. If you have any questions about like the market on the real estate agent side, that would be him. As far as me, like anything in regards to like construction, and then getting the team, getting the crews out there, getting all that inspections like scheduled out. And Darren, he's more so on the acquisitions and like the underwriting stuff. So if you guys have questions, man, feel free to ask.
Yeah, there we go. Who has a question?
This is a quick one right here. Andrew Realtor is asking what platform you use to find properties.
What platforms do you guys utilize to find properties or leads?
So on the off market, I usually go on PropWire, PropStream. This particular one, Brian found. I don't know, what would you call it on the market?
Networking. We talked about
referral. I'm getting a lot of referrals now just because I'm telling my parents I'm blessed. They're healthcare nurses. So I'm telling them, hey, just let them know, like, if there's anything they don't want property wise, let me know. So
good.
Referral.
Good. We talked last week about the pairing of networking and one other skill set. Networking is free, and network is the most abundant one. I've never made more transactions or money off any other pipeline outside of networking. I just haven't, right? But let's dive into some more questions. Jay Villa, what's going on? You have a question?
Right.
Are you good?
Yeah, I got one.
Please.
Gerald. So far as you said construction, you do construction.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You doing the construction on the property yourself?
We're pretty much vetting contractors and subcontractors, and as we're doing our vetting process, we got on the phone with Jay, and he brought up a really, really good point, and didn't know why I didn't see this because my dad is a GC himself, and I'm observant, so I learned through all of my dad's successes and his mistakes. And Jay brought up a good point where he said, if you let someone take control of the whole project and you give them the wheel, outside of, their business and outside of work, all the personal stuff, they can go through divorce, bills behind, they're behind on bills, or they have other projects that they do that could pretty much put your project on the back seat and not allow you to execute on time. So for us, we're gonna go the route of just doing the work, putting in the work, and being the operator. So for me, I'm not on there swinging the hammer or bringing all the material. If I have to, I will. But we're gonna sub out a lot of the work. So piece by what's it called? By piecework. So Jay had mentioned, okay, you could section it off by bathroom, kitchen, and then drywall if need to, windows. A lot of the times we'll just find people that can, if you can cover this, and that, you can get us a good solid price on it, then we'll go at it that way. So to answer your question, Jay, we're gonna sub out a lot of it.
Yeah, and you don't want to, early on as you're getting into your first deal, you as much as you can delegate, you want to, but there's so many things you can and need to learn so you can scale this with confidence and knowledge. And so in my experience, I would never give nobody this early on that I don't have a good relationship with it. Like my dad was a contractor, that might be a different scenario if I know his work. But as you're vetting contractors, you don't want to give them so much power and so much latitude at one time. Okay, we're rolling with time. Any other questions? We got about 4 minutes. Jason, you got a question?
I think for me, it's more of, I took down a lot of notes. I think that the underwriting part, I have no idea what that is. So I have to look more into it. But everything else is pretty straightforward. Finding the deal, looking at comms. I think yesterday you said, price, condition, location. So all that stuff I'm familiar with. Just like the contract or the underwriting part, I just have to look more into that. So that's where my questions would fall.
We're gonna dive into that. Don't worry, we got you covered. Plus, we have some pre-recorded content and that I can share with you. It's actually in the Deal Master 101 course. You can pull it down, and we'll keep analyzing deals. For the sake of time, any other questions regarding this deal in particular? Since we have these gentlemen on the phone and we're on the topic, Benson, you have a question for us?
No, everything was good. Good notes over and good class today. I listened to everything today.
Good. Natalia, Ulysses, Leonard, you got any questions?
Well, I don't got no questions, but I'm continuing to work. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm doing deals. Running my members. I'm working on 2 years right now. I'm opening up right now.
Ulysses very likely. I went over to a deal with Ulysses like 2 days ago. Ulysses on the cusp of locking up a great deal. I don't see what would get in his way. I don't see what's going to stop him. But he's on the cusp of locking up a great deal. He'll probably know by Tuesday or Wednesday this week if it's going to be a good deal. And this deal might be zero money to close. I don't know. I don't want to get too much into this deal yet. And I don't want to count the eggs for the hatch. But you got to be on the lookout. It looks like we might be having our second DM 101 deal coming to the pike. Benson, you have a question by chance? You good? Okay, Leonard, what you got for me? I need a question, Leonard. It's gonna let us know if you was listening, Leonard, because you're screaming off this whole time.
Nah, no questions. I was listening. I'm getting ready to take my son to flag football. I apologize.
No, don't worry. Tell him run. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah.
I'm here too. I'm listening. This was great.
Absolutely. Well, when you say it was great,
Actually,
what was one takeaway you had from today, Natalia?
say it again.
What was one takeaway that you got from today?
Man, I always wish I talk the way they do. When I actually went to see one house, but I think I'm struggling. Like, what right questions to ask when you're seeing it?
Yeah, I got you there.
Talk to the realtors and stuff.
Let me jump in real quick for the sake of time. Who are you partnering with in the community right now?
Say it again. Nobody.
Well, that would solve all your problems. So you got to get with somebody. Everybody's on the screen right now. Find somebody that you can schedule maybe a 15-minute call with today to get with them and let them know that, hey, will you partner with me? This is the value that I bring, and I want to put down a deal. Partnership, networking. Benson, you got something for us, don't you? I can't hear you, Benson. You're talking like a mime like this right now. Ah, there you go. What's going on, Benson?
Me and Joe, we were looking at a property yesterday. We went in San Jose, we were checking out, and we don't know if it's kind of just leading us on or he was really into the deal. And what are some questions that you would ask them, like just to get further in, so he can get in depth, or like help him vision us as a partner, or actually like selling us
Gotcha.
the property?
Okay, it will require a little bit more time because I would need a little bit more information regarding the property. But let me just try to answer in general. One of the things I always want to do is find out the why somebody would be selling. Find out the motivation. Why are you selling? Are you selling because you don't want it? Are you selling because you're going through? Are you really selling it? Because if somebody's really selling it, you're 90% of the way there. Now we have to negotiate the terms, price, timing, and things of that nature. So are you confident that he really wants to sell the property?
Yeah, I'm pretty confident. The house is vacant. We know that he wants to move on with his life.
Okay. Have you talked about pricing? Have you made him an offer?
We're coming around the numbers right now. Maybe it's not a full payment, maybe it's a term, but we're trying to see where he's telling us he just wants the best number for him.
It's a creative, right?
Yeah, and Derek on it too.
Okay. Well, for the sake of time, let's Benson, let's hop on a 15-minute call this Friday. Let's walk the deal if it's not too late then, and let's see if we can come up with some strategies that you can employ to get that thing locked up. It shouldn't be very difficult, and with your team here, it should be able to get done. It will get done, but success loves speed, so we got to get there. If you could lock that up, that'd be 3 deals. Let's go for 3. Let's get that thing locked up. All right. Let's really secure his motivation. Let's put an offer in front of him and get him to put pen to paper. We got to find out what he wants. If what he wants is something that we can work with, let's get it in writing, right, formally, and then after inspections, we can further negotiate. But getting that thing locked up is important. That's what keeps it keeps all the wolves away. Once you lock it up, it's going down, and we're not going to let the deal die on our end. For the second time, you guys, we have a DM201 going up to the property of Buena Vista. For those of you that aren't 201, don't worry. I'm going to have live content. I'm going to have content, photos, an update for you. I would love to see you all there next time. A lot of really good things come to the pipe. This was a bit of impromptu at the last minute. I was already headed up there, and I wanted to offer an invite, grab some lunch, and walk this property, because this property, it'll blow your mind. Dang, this thing needs everything. Great. But in short, say that again. Oh, yeah, so if you want to join the DM201, go and send me a message through school directly, or hop on a Friday call, and I'll kind of walk you through some of the things that we're accomplishing in that community. I always like to underpromise and overdeliver, but transparently, I'm working with my team on finding ways that we can put more deals in front of the community and partner up, right? And so I want you guys to really just take advantage of it. We're rolling. I got 5 seconds. Love, peace, and hair grease. Keep grinding. Let's make it happen. I'll see you guys shortly. IG, DM101, if you want to join the community, go ahead and drop it in the comments. Thank you all again.